What's the moment you realized no one was coming to save you? I was 16 when I found out my mom was batshit crazy. She's always been one of those one with nature people, the type to be extremely against vaccines, shots, and non-homemade clothing, which in turn means I'm homeschooled. And instead of making a curriculum for me, giving me tests, or anything to prepare me for the real world, she just has me read a book for an hour a day. Oh, and of course we are broke. She makes $15,000 a year. Meanwhile, she spends the measly $300 child support from dad on cigarettes, herbs, and vodka instead of, actual necessities. Up until recently, we didn't even have running water in our home. The only time I got to feel clean was when I sneaked into the public swimming pool that my friend Morgan worked at and shower there. So one day, when I downed a glass of ice water and my teeth started stinging, I gaslit myself into believing that I was just imagining things, because otherwise, I'd have to talk to my mom, which meant getting wailed on for not being crafty enough to solve the problem. But after just a few weeks, my gum became red and swollen. Whenever I poked it, a yellow pus started leaking out. I tried everything we had: ice, meditation, mint leaves, salt water, everything, but nothing was working. Soon, I found myself unable to sleep because of the throbbing in my mouth. So, I did the unthinkable. I told my mother, "Ara, Ara!" She began chanting her tribal anthem made for healing. "You are being cursed by societal norms! Get away from me!" I pinched the bridge of my nose, hating myself for even just hoping she'd react normally for once. I was in so much pain that I didn't even want to deal with her antics, so I just left and called Morgan. I expected him to offer to drive me to an ER, but instead, he threatened me. He told me if I didn't call CPS in the next 48 hours, then he would do it himself. "Morgan, please just..." I tried to plead with him, but he hung up, so I resorted to my next best option. My father. I literally hadn't even seen him in 5 years, but I was desperate. Unfortunately, I forgot that anyone crazy enough to be willingly associated with my mother is probably insane. So, when I arrived through the door and saw him passed out on the couch, surrounded by dozens of Blue Moon cans, I couldn't even blame him. I just stole the dollar bills out of his pocket and left. When I got home, I was greeted by my mother's spiritual healing circle friends. "OMG, drink this," one of them said, before handing me a strange herbal concoction that smelled like rotten eggs. "Purge him! Purge him!" another one yelled, while shoving burnt dried sage into my face. I couldn't even think through the pain and just shoved past them to get to my mother. But before I could even say anything, her hand met my face. Smack. "Whatever you want to say, don't. You'll never make it without me." Tears slipped out before I could stop them. I finally caved, left, and called CPS. I thought a social worker would bring me to a shelter, or at least tell my mom to stop hitting me. But no, instead, she laughed. "So let me get this straight. Your mom is trying to heal you, and now you're upset because your tooth hurts a little?" I swear I thought she was pranking me, but that's when she said, "Call me when you have some real issues, kid." Before hanging up the phone, my heart sank to my stomach. I never realized how loud loneliness could get. That's when Morgan called. He asked me why I wasn't home. He has my location. And if I had called CPS yet. I tried to speak, but my throat was locked up. I practically choked on my tears. He didn't say anything, but in the background it sounded like someone was driving. I stayed on the phone because I just didn't want to be alone. Well, that's when it happened. Morgan showed up with his mom to pick me up. She drove me straight to the ER, and my case was so severe that I only waited 20 minutes to be seen. When all was said and done, I thought the worst was behind me. I was even ready to go back home and forgive my mom. I told myself the dental pain had made me spiral, that I had overreacted. But when I got out of the room and went to Morgan's mom, I saw she was in tears. "Honey, I called your mom to tell her where you were." I felt the blood drain from my face. I turned to Morgan, who was completely pale and staring at the ground. She was upset, and the police found her hanging. My knees buckled to the floor. Morgan held me. The world felt like it was spinning, like it was laughing at me. And for the first time ever, I threw myself a party. A pity party, that is. I didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve to suffer at the hands of others just because I wasn't an adult yet. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I had to make them pay. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.